Wow. Good evening, everyone. Let me start off by saying that. I would first like to thank the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids for this great honor and opportunity. I am a tobacco control advocate. I'm not done yet. From Mississippi. Now, if that sounds difficult, it's because it is. But I try not to let obstacles get in my way because I'm extremely passionate about fighting tobacco and ending it for good. And thanks to the video, now you know why. For my entire life, my grandfather has been the closest man to me in my life, and he's always been there for me. He's been like a father figure to me because I never really had a father in my life. So I really can't possibly imagine me not having my grandfather there to lean on. But I know that someday, unfortunately, that's going to be a harsh reality. Not that long ago, my grandfather found out that he had developed cancer after decades of smoking and chewing tobacco. As you can imagine, this really broke my heart. For as long as I can remember, my grandfather has been a smoker. And for just as long as that, I've been trying to get him to quit. Now, I would bring booklets home from school every day, and I would teach him about all the dangers of tobacco. And I even went so far as to throw away his cigarettes and his lighters when he wasn't looking. Eventually, I told him that he couldn't smoke while I was at his house. I pestered him for over a decade before he finally quit, but he still suffered many ill effects of tobacco. My grandfather was targeted by the tobacco companies at a very young age. That's why I worked so hard and why I'm so passionate to combat the dangers of tobacco so that no one can get hooked on it. My tobacco control activism has been an incredible journey. When I first became involved in Generation Free in Mississippi, I was just a shy little 8th grader. I wasn't very confident getting up here and speaking and leading different conferences. I remember being completely embarrassed after messing up while speaking at my first conference in front of hundreds of high schoolers. But with each conference, I became more and more confident. And I learned so much from groups like the Campaign for Tobacco-Free Kids and, of course, Truth Initiative. And I even got to participate in Truth Summit with teen activists from around the country. And I learned that I began to not only grow as an activist, but also as a person as well. Working for tobacco control in Mississippi is certainly not easy. Many places still have a strong tobacco culture, but I'm doing my part to change that. I've worked with members of the Mississippi legislature to introduce a bill to raise the tobacco age to 21. Now, passing statewide legislation is also very difficult. So each year, my local Mississippi Tobacco-Free Coalition picks several cities that we want to go smoke-free. And I'm incredibly proud to say that we now have 116 smoke-free communities throughout Mississippi. I've had the privilege of participating in rallies and other events to fight for smoke-free policies that include workplaces, restaurants, parks, and yes, even casinos. We've gotten a lot done. We've cut youth smoking in Mississippi to about 12%, which is down from 20% in 2008. Unfortunately, Mississippi still has one of the highest adult smoking rates in the country. So we have to continue the fight. One of my favorite quotations says, "Life is full of opportunities. Leadership is about taking those opportunities. Legacy is what you leave behind when you do." I may be a bit young to be thinking about my legacy, but I am extremely grateful that my tobacco control activism has already given me so many opportunities and experiences that I can be able to make a difference in the world around me. I hope that part of my legacy is going to be to inspire my peers and other future advocates around me to make a difference as well. Now, while fighting tobacco use is often extremely difficult, as we all know, it is a battle that I will always continue to fight because I don't want anyone else to end up like my grandfather. And I do now want to take this time to thank two of my sponsors who are in the audience. One is Chisa Mallet, and she was with the Mississippi Tobacco Free Coalition, and the other is Frederick Wiley, somewhere in the back there with Generation Free. I could not have done this without each and every one of y'all. So please give them a hand. I want to thank you all for your support again, and I hope that we can all continue so that we can see an end to tobacco for good.